What's up, everybody? This is Fred Rachani of TSC News with breaking UFC news on, you guessed it, Jon Jones. For those that don't know, his B sample came back positive. He officially fails his UFC 214 drug test and faces a 2 to 4 year suspension, which is a killer for a man in the prime of his career. On top of that, he faces a significant fine. And on top of that, his win over Daniel Cormier has been overturned to a no contest. But wait, there's more, because you know that big hunk of gold that he's been carrying around, the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship? Well, it was confirmed on UFC Tonight on FS1, hosted by none other than Daniel Cormier and Kenny Florian, that DC gets the belt returned to him, which is the right move. Now, DC said himself, you know what? I feel like I lost that fight. I technically did. I'm not happy about the situation, but at the end of the day, Jon Jones did something illegal. And, you know, it's like the same thing if Jon Jones had, used illegal strikes or had loaded gloves or did something to get disqualified or didn't make weight, it wouldn't, he wouldn't win the title. And that's the case. I agree with that. DC gets the belt back. And DC also brought up this point, which I think is kind of sad for a guy, the star power of the guy who's at the level of star power DC is. Okay. He said, I practically have to take the belt back because, the money that comes with being the champion. Now, here's the thing. DC would have likely fought for the vacant light heavyweight title anyway if the light heavyweight title was vacated and then put in a matchup with, Gustafsson or Ozdemir. But the fact that DC was willing to take the title back just for purely financial reasons, I mean, it's the right thing to do too, but that's kind of sad. And that goes to show you the disparity in pay between being a champion and being a challenger, which I think is kind of ridiculous. If you're a big star like DC that has drawn money, granted, you've mainly drawn money with Jon Jones, but a guy who's drawn money and gotten a lot of attention and hype for his fights, I think that should warrant you higher pay than the usual light heavyweight contender. That's just my opinion. But the bottom line is the California State Athletic Commission is doing the right thing, handing the belt back over to DC. He'll likely face Ozdemir. Maybe he'll face Gustafsson. Who the hell knows? Maybe somebody else will emerge from the shadows as a contender down the road. But, yeah, not a whole lot of star power in the light heavyweight division, but that's Jon Jones' fault. Jon Jones has nobody to blame but himself. He's a guy that even if he had lost to DC, would have gotten an immediate rematch against DC. He would have made millions of dollars with this fight that he's set to lose now from this penalty. And he would have made even more millions for a rematch, a trilogy fight with DC. Hell, you can make the argument that had Jones been clean and DC lost to him, okay, if the result was the same and Jones was clean, you can make the argument that if they did an immediate rematch or a rematch a year down the road, that would still make millions of dollars for both men. And look, Jon Jones has money. I would love to assume that Jon Jones has saved his money. I don't know that for a fact, but I would love to assume that. But then again, I love to assume that he would have been clean for this fight, and he obviously wasn't. So, whether he saved his money or not, that money that he saw that he'll probably lose from the Cormier fight, that's money he ain't going to be seeing for a long, long time, if ever again. And it's a damn shame. But, hey, kudos to DC for carrying himself with class, being a great hype man, being a great fighter. It's unfortunate the only blemishes on his record are Jon Bones Jones, but it is what it is. And, hey, kudos to DC. He was very upfront. He said, you know what, Jon? You had all the physical advantages, the reach advantage. You're age 30, you're a freak athlete, you're one of the greatest fighters the sport's ever seen. I'm 38 years old, and you took an illegal substance? It is kind of crazy when you think about it. But, folks, I want to hear from you. What do you think about DC getting that belt back? Who do you think he should fight next? Let me know. Leave a comment below. Tweet us. Facebook us. Do what you got to do. If you enjoyed this update, please click that like button. Please share this with all your friends. Please don't forget to subscribe for more MMA updates. And until next time, everybody, as always, enjoy the fights.